Hi everyone, Haley here from The Foiled Plan. If you couldn't tell by the title of this video, today I'm doing an unboxing of the Bettersub heat press that is the color purple. So that's what we're doing today. Now, Bettersub did reach out to me and asked if they could send me some happy mail. So they sent me this heat press and they also sent me a mug press too. If you want me to do like an unboxing and a review of that, let me know in the comments section as well. I'm happy to share my thoughts. One other thing to note is that the heat press that I had here previously was also from Bettersub, and I bought that one from Amazon, and I've used it for a couple years now and I really like using it, so I feel like I'm gonna like this one just as much, if not more, because it's purple. But yeah, so I have experience already dealing with the Bettersub heat presses and I like them, so I'm gonna share this one with you today. Let's get started. So right on top, they have a heat press manual. It's kind of nice to like see the differences when things are upgraded. Oh yeah, they've really done a good job of updating this. They've even got this little, I don't know if you can see, but it's a guide here for sublimation. You can use this for like HTV, iron-on, things like that, but they're most focused on sublimation, hence the name Bettersub. Now, the only thing is, depending on the items that you purchase as substrates, like they could be slightly different than the things that they are listing here. So sometimes it just takes experimentation. I am so excited right now. This is like grape purple, like it's gonna match perfectly. They've got this packaged nicely. There's a bag around it. Let me get it out and up there and then I'll tell you all the things. It does have sort of that like factory smell, but it's not like super offensive. I'm intrigued by this mat thing in here. I was not expecting that to happen, and that just put a gash in my wall. Good thing I'm gonna put a pegboard there. So learn from my mistakes, and I thought it was like locked down. When you open this, make sure you have a hand on here. Stupid. Interesting. So this is also quite different. This almost looks like a easy press mat. Like it's obviously not, but just to compare, this is like what my easy press mats look like. And this does come off, and it's got like little silicone grippies to keep that on, and then that just like folds over all of the corners. I can't believe I just put that hole in my wall. Is the heat press itself okay? Yeah, there's nothing on it. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in. Yeah, there's definitely differences with this one compared to the other one. First being this matte setup. What I did before was I had magnets, like heavy duty magnets that I put across here, and then I had a Teflon sheet, one of these, that I put across here and then held it on there with the magnets so that I didn't have to like put the sheet across the thing that I was heat pressing. The only thing is you don't use Teflon sheets when you're doing sublimation because it traps moisture and you don't want that. I'm also noticing that like the spot for the fuse is different. This is also different. This is like a matte plastic black, and the other one is more of like a glossy satin. You know what? I'm gonna bring the other one in here and put them like side by side just to take a look at them. One thing I did notice too is that this one did not come with extra fuses, whereas the first one that I had, it had fuses, and I was like, I first of all didn't know what a fuse was at the time, but this one doesn't have any extra ones unless it's like attached somewhere that I don't see. But let me grab the other heat press. I feel like I'm doing a weightlifting competition. Okay. She's a little dusty. Obviously, mat's different. I don't even know how to describe this, but it's almost like a rubbery, spongy silicone feel. And then this handle is like a glossy plastic, and it is easier to, this one's easier to turn. It looks like there's more like grease in it. Now, I don't know if that's just like over time because I've had this and used it for a long time now. This piece underneath is black. The whole thing is underneath, whereas this one is like the silver metal, so it just looks a little bit more industrial. So this one is $289.99. I think that one was around the same price when I first bought it. I'll look back at my orders to see. So with tax, in February of 2020, when I first bought this one, it was $229.99. And like I said, that was in 2020. The cost of everything has gone up. I'm just gonna look at some of the specs here. So the temperature ranges from 0 to 440 degrees Fahrenheit. It has a Teflon surface, so you definitely want to use your butcher paper if you are doing sublimation. So voltage is 110, power is 1300 watts. The heating plate itself is 15 by 15 inches. Like I said, the temperature ranges from 0 to 440 degrees Fahrenheit. The time range goes from 0 to 499 seconds. The heating time takes 10 to 15 minutes. So if you're comparing this to something like a Cricut Easy Press, definitely takes much longer to heat up. I do have an Easy Press and I never take it out of the box anymore. Like actually, since I got that heat press, I've never once used my Easy Press. If you have a business and you're starting to get busy, this is gonna be something that you want to get. Whether it's one of these or a heat press from somewhere else, I definitely recommend something like this. So this is a heat resistant silicone pad. So it's exactly the same to set the time and the temperature as it was for that. The pressure knob is here. You turn it clockwise to add pressure and you turn it counterclockwise to take pressure away or to decompress, it says. It's easy to clean and more durable than cloth coated surfaces, which is interesting because this has cloth on it. The plug on it is considered an American plug. We use the same thing here in Canada. It's 47.4 pounds, so it's almost 50 pounds. That's a little embarrassing that it was that hard for me to lift it. Feels pretty much the same as that one. It's the same machine, just a bit of an upgrade. I mean, I haven't actually tested it out yet, but it seems like pretty much the same, so I recommend it. So we've got it plugged in. I'm gonna take this one back out there because there's no need to have so much stuff here right now. I'm gonna switch my camera to over here so you can see a little better what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it on. Now the numbers on this screen do look slightly more clear than the last one. So I'm gonna be doing a little test on a 100% cotton shirt. So I'm gonna use Caesar Easy Weed and they recommend using a temperature of 305 degrees and pressing for 10 to 15 seconds. So I'm going to press once on the set button and drop it down because it's almost 400 degrees to 5 and then hold it in. Actually, I didn't even have to hold it. I just pressed it again and now it is set. While that heats up, I'm going to grab just a cotton shirt and choose just like a random piece of vinyl from my HTV scraps. I will say that having this on here is a lot easier to move around clothing on top of it than the press I had before. It was almost like grippy and you'd have to lift and move. It's neat because I never really paid too much attention to those little things. Just doing something simple like moving this t-shirt on here, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have even complained about that on the press that I was using previously, because I just assumed like that's how they all are, and it is what it is. So I just checked my timer on my camera. It's been less than 8 minutes and this is already up to temperature. Now the package or the book did say it takes 10 to 15 minutes to heat up. I'm going to assume that that is probably meaning to get it to the absolute highest temperature that it goes to. It's not shocking that it didn't take that long to get up to 305. So I'm just going to do a prep press. Perfect. All the wrinkles are gone. I'm gonna grab my lint roller. I am gonna use a sheet of parchment paper. So this is not gonna be like an actual design or anything. I'm just taking scraps and placing them. Just make sure you've got the shiny side facing up. Now we're gonna press it. Okay. So a couple of things, just like differences I notice, is it seems like you have to have this fully closed for the timer to start, which was not the case with the other one. Basically, as soon as you started to pull it down, the timer started. Now, when it comes to it heating up, this one is the same as the other one in the sense that it doesn't give you any sort of indication as far as like a beep goes to let you know that it has heated up to temperature. So if you turn this on, walk away, or you're doing something, well, not walk away, but you're doing something else in the meantime while you're waiting for it to heat up, periodically check on it because it's not going to let you know that it's up to temperature. Part of this is because of the quality of material that I'm using, like the vinyl that I'm using, but I would say that 10-second press was perfect. You never want to press too long or too hard because the glue from the heat transfer vinyl can actually just seep through the fibers and then doesn't stay stuck as long. So this did a good job. I'm happy with it. There's no air bubbles. It was consistent for all of these pieces and they're all different sizes, all different colors. Same brand, same type of material within that brand. So they're all Caesar Easy Weed, but different colors. Great job. I mean, it does exactly what it should do. It does exactly what, in my opinion, a heat press should do. I know there are some heat presses out there that do pull out this way. So if you're looking for something that pulls, you are gonna wanna go with something different. I've never had one that does that, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything right now. That might be a different story if I find one that does have that pull out feature. And then also, when you are choosing a heat press, the clamshell, which is what this is, gets its name because it looks like a clamshell. It hinges like a clamshell does. But there's also presses called swingaways, and Bettersub makes them. There's lots of other brands that make them too. But with that, you have to make sure that you have enough space for the top piece to actually swing away to the side, whereas this has a smaller footprint. There's a lot of presses out there that are like white or soft pink or teal, and they're really, really pretty, but I have had a really hard time finding anything that was purple. So this just makes me happy. Anyways, I'm gonna turn it off. All right, well, that is my first impressions and unboxing of my new heat press. I want to say thank you to Bettersub for sending this to me. I already loved my Bettersub heat press before, and I love this one even more, not just because it's purple. I have noticed some of the upgrades, and I think you done good. If you guys have any questions about this press or the press that I had previously, just let me know and I'll try and answer as best I can. This is the little tester shirt that we made. I think I'm gonna keep this to just continue using as a tester shirt for other things, other products. And then who knows, maybe by the end of it, it'll end up looking like a terrazzo, I think that's how you say it, like full shirt of different patches and things like that. To sum everything up, would I recommend this heat press? Yes, I would. I give it 10 purple sweatsuits out of 10. Good job, Bettersub, on your new heat press. And thank you so much for sending it my way. All right, I hope you guys have a super awesome day, and that's all I'm gonna say. Bye!